20 different things to 20 different people. We're going to try to simplify it for this call to kind of I think its purest definition, which it's literally the practice of marketing to one or more audiences of a specific ethnicity that are outside of an area's majority culture. So when you're looking at your marketplace, those communities or those groups of people who are outside of your majority, culture, those are the multiculturals. Those are the people that you are touching. And it's kind of an all-encompassing effort there. It's not, like I said, just a matter of translating English to whatever language. It goes a lot deeper than that. You need to have a holistic approach. You need to have an actual understanding of what motivates these people and what gives these people cause. It's combining language, culture, and emotion to make real, genuine connections. It's not just an adjunct TV spot, like I said a couple minutes ago. It's a lot more than that. It's more than just running a women's World Cup soccer event once every couple of years or something like that to try and connect with them on the surface level. It's really understanding them on a deeper level.
Yeah. I mean, one thing that I would say is that it can be pretty transparent from the receiving end. If you're just trying to market to me, whether it be multicultural or woman, sometimes those are the two categories that I can speak to personally. If it's obvious that you're just trying to gain my business versus gain my trust and illustrate who you are, that can be really telling and off-putting. So what kind of advice do you guys have for people to illustrate that emotion and authenticity? Have you seen anything really successful that stood out to you?
You want me to jump in, Greg? Because I can touch upon the Hispanic side. Is really honing in on visually, right? Greg touched upon this is the way you would advertise in Florida is not the same you would advertise in Texas. Is not the way you would advertise in California visually, right? And also, I am a huge believer in Spanglish, right? And speaking to the consumers the way the consumers are speaking in the community, right? So Subi, you and I spoke about, when I speak to my dad and he leases a car, I say, Pa, ¿cuánto estás pagando por tu lease? Right? So we mesh those words together and that becomes more credible in the community, right? Or ¿cuánto pusiste de down payment? And now all of a sudden when the consumers hear that, it becomes a lot more realistic and genuine, right? When they say, oh, these guys actually speak like me and act like me and they look like me and again it just becomes more credible, right? So all of that just really puts a good plan together. And again, just the credibility of it goes a long way.
No, couldn't agree more. We don't have an official term, but we mix in English with almost every word to the point where I think we've lost some of the meaning to some of the words. But so authenticity and being able to speak the language, and that's not just dialect. It's about phrasing and intention. My language is really, really formal when it's written. And if you write it like that, it sounds like old English, essentially. And no one talks like that. So I love that your approach is making sure that it matches the specific community and how they'll down to the sect.